Smart Cleanup Tools is a very powerful and easy to use plugin that can help you clean up your WordPress installation database and regain space and improve speed of your website. Here we have a list of cleanup tools available for the current website here, and as you can see, some tools are marked in white, some in green, and some further down are red. Green and white tools are available for this installation, and for these tools plugin have found some records that can be removed and cleaned up. Red tools are inactive, and this means that there are no trashed posts or there are no auto draft posts available in the database. Based on some factors, plugin will automatically enable some tools like this one, and you can always enable and disable tools manually, or enable tools will be used after you click run. You can use enable and disable for all tools at once. For each tool you can see how many records and which size of these records will be removed. This is estimated size, so it's more for orientation purposes only. Really, what space will be regained depends on other factors too. For some tools you have a zoom icon here, and this icon will show you a breakdown of records based on post types for these post related tools. So there are 1709 draft records in the database, and if you look at the post types you will see which post type have how many draft records for removal. Here is revisions breakdown too. Based on all this, you have a summary here. There are 16 tools available for the cleanup right now. They will remove a total of almost 40,000 records, and the estimated gain will be 21.7 megabytes of space in the database. 6 tools are inactive and in red there. Second panel is called reset, and these are also cleanup tools, but they shouldn't be used regularly for cleanup because the data removed by those tools might be considered useful for some purposes. So these tools are not standard cleanup tools. You can, for instance, remove pingback comments. They can be useful if you need them, but if not, you can remove them. Also, you can remove user agent data saved with all comments in the database. If you don't have any use for this user agent data, you can remove it. Same goes for data collected by Akismet plugin. If you don't need it for statistical purposes, you can also remove it. Some tools here like this one will remove one record from the options, but in this case it will destroy all the widgets in the sidebars for the current configuration. This might be useful if you switch themes or something like that to remove extra widgets from all the sidebars and prevent mixing them because of different sidebars registration for different themes. This is a safe tool to use because if you remove rewrite tools, this will just cause for WordPress to rebuild them on the next load. And you can remove settings for this plugin and logs gathered by this plugin also. So this tool, these all these tools are put on the reset tab because they might be considered potentially problematic to use because the data will be removed and this data can be useful in some cases. On the other hand, cleanup tools are all considered safe and the data removed by it is not in use in any way except for drafts and things like that, but when you publish a post you don't need its draft anymore in most cases. So drafts and revisions and things like that are safe to remove. So these tools are on this cleanup tab here. Let's see what happens if we enable all tools here and run cleanup. You will get a mask like this and you will see the counter of a time needed to complete the process. Depending on number of tools and how often you run cleanup and how many data should be removed, this can take quite some time and you only need to wait. And once the process is completed, you will get a report and you will see how much data is actually removed from the database and how much space is recovered. So as you can see, our estimated size was pretty much accurate and 21 megabyte was restored in the database after the cleanup and 38,000 records are removed. For each tool you will see a number of records and execution time. If you use reset tools, you will get similar report. So we'll remove this and we'll remove this. All the statistics gathered by all the tools will be available on statistics tag, and you will see exactly how many times a cleanup was run and how many records are removed for each tool, how many times each tool was run and things like that. If you need to run some jobs on a regular basis, you can create a scheduled jobs from here. Select which tools you want to use, give your job a name, let's say when it will run and when will be the first time to run this job, and select few of them from here. And you will get a job, next run, and scheduler for this job, along with the list of tools included. You can remove the job or edit it and make changes further. Log tab shows text logs with information about execution and information about queries executed for cleanup and for checkup. If some of the logs are empty, then most likely logging is disabled or some of the logs are disabled. On the settings page you have cleanup logs options here, so reports are saved for cleanup and schedule cleanup jobs. Since we are here on this page, there are a few other options you can set up. First is, should you have summary displayed on cleanup and reset page, and should you show inactive tools? If we disable both of them and go to cleanup, there is no summary here anymore, and all the jobs that are inactive will be hidden. So only the jobs that have some data to remove will be visible on this panel. Compare that to normal state. And here it is, summary plus all the inactive jobs. Also, you can disable some of the jobs fully, so they will not appear whether they have been deemed active or inactive. So you can check which jobs you want to use. Let's leave only these 3 as available. So 19 tools are disabled. And on the cleanup tab, you will see only those 3 that are left as enabled. Similar thing you can do with a reset tab, and you can uncheck the data, the tools you don't want. You can check the tools you want disabled from the reset tab. We can leave only this one here. So on reset tab you will have only 1 tool. Finally, you can export all the data into the text file, and you can export plugin settings and list of scheduled jobs with all scheduled job settings. This file shouldn't be modified after it is generated, because the data in it is serialized, and any change made to it will make it impossible to restore later. So make an export and save the file for later. Do not make any changes to it. That file can be later imported, and you can also select which parts of the file you want imported back. When a file is saved, the name contains what is exported. So scheduled jobs and plugin settings will be marked in the name, and also it will have site or network keyword inside. If you export data for the site or export data for the network, if you use WordPress in the multi-site network mode, you need to be careful about importing those things back, because you cannot import site settings into the network, but you can import settings from one site into another site. You can import network settings only in the network mode. So be careful with that. Do not make modifications and you will be set. Let's restore this. So how much you can really gain from using this plugin? Well, it all depends on how often you use it, and how much traffic your website gets. So how many spam comments, how many times WordPress needs to write and read from the database, because all that will create an overhead. So you will see how much time, how many times you should use this plugin, and whatever you do, most of these tools are not dangerous, but if you are not sure or you want to check things up, you should back up your database before using the plugin. There is no guarantee that some of these tools might not cause some problems, especially if you run some modified versions of WordPress or modified database scheme. So this plugin is tested and used only with unmodified WordPress, no matter how many plugins it contains, and with unmodified database scheme. Other than that, there is no guarantee that plugin will work for your with your modifications to WordPress core or database scheme.